NFL 100 list came out. Oh boy. Let's go ahead and let's talk about this. So the first thing I want to say here is do not get mad at the NFL themselves. Get mad at the players because, believe it or not, this list was a result of the players. They put this together themselves. Here's a direct quote from the website, from the NFL 100 website, saying how the list is created. The playmakers, the showstoppers, the best of the best. Your NFL players have spoken. Who are the top 100 NFL players today? For the 10th consecutive year, current NFL players have voted to determine the top 100 players in the NFL. The top 100 players of 2020 counted down the top players in the NFL as determined solely by the players themselves. So let's not get mad at the actual NFL for this. They had no part in this. Smart on them, because they probably knew people were going to get mad at the list anyway, so they decided, hey, let's let the players have this one. Let's have them get some backlash. Cool. Fine by me. Okay. So now, let's get mad a little bit at the list. So my main issue with the list is that these are supposed to be the best players right now, right? Not by how like their year went statistically, or how well their team did, although that probably does play a factor because football is a very team-oriented sport. But these are the best players performance-wise, talent-wise right now in the NFL. And I think, along with a lot of other people, I just cannot agree that Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL. Surely he is in the top 10 now for sure, though. He had a really great year last year with the Ravens and John Harbaugh. It's amazing what those guys have done together. But my number one player is probably a little different than everyone else. Everyone else I've seen, they say Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a no-brainer. Why do you have Mahomes? Mahomes. And let's pump the brakes here a little bit. Because I believe that Russell Wilson is the number one player in the NFL. And then Mahomes at number 2. And I could see people are going to get mad at me. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are in favor of Mahomes being number 1. And before you do that, just let me give you an explanation as to why. So the NFL has never been about who makes the flashiest plays, the highlight reel throws, all that good stuff, which definitely happens, especially with Mahomes a lot. And he's very fun to watch, all good. Nothing wrong with that. But here's what the NFL is about, and this is how I determine how good a player is. How good are you when everything is going against you? That's what I say. That's what I ask myself whenever I watch an NFL player play. I'm like, when this play breaks down, when you don't have the favorable matchup, when this, that, the other, when you don't have all the cards going right for you, when you don't have that ace up your sleeve, how good are you? And to me, Russell Wilson is better than Mahomes in this regard. Talent-wise, purely, you can absolutely say Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. He has cannon for an arm. He makes all the pretty plays, all the contortionist, crazy throws. He does everything right? But Russell Wilson, to me, has less to work with in Seattle. And even had a chance to win the MVP versus Lamar last season. Not saying Mahomes wouldn't have won it, but he did have that 2-game injury that he had to deal with. So let's look at Mahomes' team. So Patrick Mahomes has arguably the best offensive coach in the league on his team, drawing him up plays, that being Andy Reid, offensive guru. You then have Tyreek Hill, speedster, one of the best receivers in the game. Travis Kelce, probably the best receiving tight end in the game. All sorts of speedy offensive weapons. Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman. These guys are solid players. And for comparison, Russell Wilson has Pete Carroll, who is a defensive-minded coach at heart. And while Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf certainly are good, they're no slouches for sure, he had no run game at the end of the year because everyone was hurt. And also Seattle was, frankly, a running team. Yes, they do have Russell Wilson, but that was their thing. They have Chris Carson, Rashad Penny. Both of those guys got hurt last year. And then Will Dissly, who was his number 1 tight end, got put on the IR as well. So he was out for the year. This is like week 3 or week 4, done for the year. He had nobody except for Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. And his team still went 11-5, had a 66 completion percentage, over 4,000 yards passing, 31 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. That is his lowest mark in his career yet. This, to me, the amount of... I guess you hear a lot of people talk about Mahomes being really great, but I feel like I never heard any of this talk with Russell Wilson at all. And Russell Wilson, to me, is one of the most underappreciated players of our time. He consistently, year in, year out, putting in the work. And I think he has one season in the NFL where he's had less than 10 wins. And that season he went 9-7. That, to me, is crazy. Now, is that solely him? No, of course not. Like I said before, Mom's back. Like I said before, the NFL is... football itself is a team-oriented game. You know, you have to have a good defense, all this other stuff, and the Seahawks certainly have. And this is not meant to be a shot at Patrick Mahomes either. He's one of my favorite players in the league right now. Super talented, easily second-best player in the league. You have Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, category of their own, and then everybody else. Maybe Aaron Donald's up there as well. And also, Patrick Mahomes does have pretty comparable stats last season to Russell Wilson, if you want to make that argument for him, in 2 less games nonetheless. But they also did not run the ball as much as the Seahawks did. So while this list does suck in a lot of regards, there are other places where this list is bad, such as Julio Jones is 11 on this list. Deshaun Watson, somehow, I don't understand how this is. He's number 20 on this list. I don't understand that at all. You can nitpick this list all day long. I saw Kyler Murray was like number 90. I think he's a lot better than that. Nitpick it all day long. But the one thing I do think that they got right on this list was putting Russell Wilson ahead of Patrick Mahomes, because that's how I see it right now.